Welcome to my first official YouTube release. In today's episode, I will be sharing with you how I learned self-love the hard way so that you don't have to. Loving yourself means you'll stop accepting low-quality experiences and finally understand your worth. Loving yourself directly affects your self-esteem and the energy that you give out, which then affects how others perceive and treat you. If loving yourself is something that you struggle with, this video is for you. Here's an overview of what we're going to be covering today. I have split today's episode in 3 parts, chapter 1, 2, and 3, where in chapter 1 I will be talking about 4 mistakes that I made so that you don't have to. In chapter 2, I'll be talking about knowing when to leave and the importance of it in your self-love journey, as well as how you go about doing it. And then in chapter 3, I'll be sharing with you about being unapologetic and owning who you are. Before we get started, remember to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more tips on self-improvement and positivity. Chapter 1. Most people think that self-love is about pride. Self-love means being prideful. Self-love is not being humble. Self-love is not selfish. It is not self-centered, because self-love is a deep understanding of your own worth and value. And it is because of this, you choose to make decisions that benefit you the most. You prioritize yourself. Focus on filling your own cup first before overflowing onto others. It is not self-centered, it is not selfish, because if your own needs are met and you just focus on meeting other people's needs at the expense of your own, you are going to feel resentful. You are going to feel that your efforts in helping others wouldn't be genuine. It is not that you don't care about others, it is that you know that you need to care about yourself first before you can truly care about others. Being prideful is about thinking you're better than others and having a need to brag about it. But self-love is not having to compare with anyone. You know deep down that everyone is valuable. Loving yourself is a requirement, it's a necessity, and it is something that you owe to yourself. Loving yourself is a choice. It is a decision that you make over and over again by choosing yourself. I'll be sharing with you more about how to choose yourself in chapter 2. But for now, let's move on to the second tip that I have for you. And that is thinking that rejection is about my worth. And let me tell you, my friends, that is absolutely garbage. You are worthy regardless of all of those things that happen around you. It doesn't matter if someone rejected you, whatever shit rejected you, because you define your own worth. Just because someone doesn't want to be your friend, you didn't pass that job interview, you got rejected by a boy, so what? None of them matter. Pick yourself up and tell yourself, you are a star. Stop taking rejection so personal, because it's not about us, it's about them. We all have our personal preferences. I mean, let's be real. There will always be someone who doesn't like you. You will not pass every single job interview in your life, so it is inevitable in today's world to be rejected. We have to learn to be okay with it. It is important to know that just because someone accepted you, it doesn't mean that you're good enough. Because you are good enough regardless of whether or not someone accepted you. Because if you attach your worth to someone's acceptance of you, you will always be chasing the acceptance, and it will never be good enough. You will never be good enough. Just know that self-love starts from within. It is not about getting the whole wide world to see that you're worthy. And it is not that when the whole wide world sees that you're worthy, then you're worthy, because in that way you will never be worthy. So my point is, it starts within. You have to believe that you are worthy, you are enough, you are beautiful just as you are. And this brings me to my next point. The truth about affirmations and why it doesn't work, and how to get it to work. I deserve the best things in life. When I walk into a room, I radiate positive self-love energy. I love myself. I am worthy, beautiful, and enough simply just by being myself. My energy is expensive and it is a privilege to be in my life. Affirmations is the process of rewiring your brain. What do I mean by rewiring your brain? It means that you are creating new thought processes, new belief systems about yourself. So it means that you see yourself differently after doing affirmations. Okay, that is the whole point of it. The reason why affirmations don't work is because when people tell themselves they love themselves, they're enough, they feel like they're lying to themselves. And then they stop there. After they feel like they're lying to themselves, they just give up on it and just think that it doesn't work. But the reason why it doesn't work is because when you feel like you're judging yourself, when you feel cringe, when you feel like you're lying to yourself, you are not letting go of the emotions. You have to dig deeper and ask yourself, why do you not like yourself? What is it that's stopping you from it? And you have to let go of those emotions. And then after that, you have to back up your newly formed thought process of you loving yourself, you being enough with actions. How do you do that? In order to do that, you have to ask yourself, if I love myself, would I act this way? Would this deserve my energy? How would I dress on a daily basis? How would I present myself? What are the kind of friends? What are the kind of people that surround me? And lastly, tip number 4, it is important for you in your self-love journey to understand this one simple concept. Love is not earned. Love is your birthright. You deserve to be loved from the very moment that you were born, when you were pushed out of your mother's womb. This is kind of self-explanatory, so I'm going to move on to chapter 2. Chapter 2, knowing when to leave. So it is important in your self-love journey to know when to leave, because if you stay in places that make you feel small, or in places where the person is not reciprocating the amount of love or care that you give them, you need to leave. Because if you don't, you are going to hate yourself. Loving yourself means that you prioritize your own happiness and your well-being. Okay? Because if you don't, no one else will. Knowing when to leave is an act of choosing yourself. And self-love is a decision. It is a decision of choosing yourself. It is not something that will magically come to you. It is something that you have to decide. So basically, knowing when to leave equals to self-love. But how? I've been wanting to leave this stupid man, this relationship for like forever, and I can't seem to do it. Don't worry, I've got you. There are 3 concepts that you have to understand in order for you to leave. The first concept is when you understand the value of your presence, you understand the value of your absence. When you know deep down, like truly, thoroughly, that what you bring to the table, what you offer in a relationship, you won't hesitate to walk away because you know what they're missing out. You know what this calls for? It calls for a list. So basically, take a piece of paper and then divide it into 2, and then on one side, write a list of traits about yourself that you love. And then the other side, you write your flaws and your imperfections or whatever shit that you don't like about yourself. So, maybe like for example, on this side, you could write like, oh, you're fun-loving, you're caring, you're loyal, you bring light wherever, you light up the room. And then on the other side, you could write short-tempered, impatient, I don't know, whatever you call it. And then after that, when you know like your flaws and your strengths, you are going to embrace them. You are going to learn to be okay with them. Okay, this is a secret, guys. Don't just love your traits and accept your flaws. You have to fall in love with your entire being. You have to fall in love with your energy. Falling in love with the most basic shit, like the little things. Like for example, fall in love with your energy when you get excited, when you do the things that you love, and for how you make others feel. Like maybe you make others feel seen, you make them feel loved, you make them feel cared for. Those are the things that you should focus on. It is not just about like your traits and your weaknesses. You have to love you as a whole. Fall in love with the entirety of your being. Fall in love with you, because guess what? No one can be you. Like if someone is more fun, you're more weird. then like you also have a bit of fun, but like they will never be the right amount. Like they are just not you, and that is your superpower. Your power is that they are never you. Never forget how rare you are. It is a privilege for people to be in your circle of people. It is a privilege to experience you, to experience your energy. And when you understand that, you have no problem walking away. Concept number 2 in order for you to leave and to move on. So closure is something that you give yourself. It is not something that others have to give you. For example, if you got ghosted, you don't have to wait for someone. You don't have to ask them why they ghosted you and wait for their reply in order for you to move on. Because the no response is the closure, the disrespect is the closure. You're just not important enough for them to give you a reply. Like you don't need them to give you that closure. And once you take back your power, which is like giving yourself closure, it won't be that difficult to move on. And finally, concept number 3 in order to leave and to move on. Actions speak louder than words. Stop giving them ultimatums. Stop saying that, oh, you're going to leave, oh, I don't need you, I can do without you. Stop saying that. Just do it. When you say all those ultimatums, you lose your power because you give an ultimatum and then you don't stand on it. Like they are not feeling the consequences of their actions. And it's just gonna make you look like a loser. Stop being a clown. And finally, chapter 3. Be unapologetic about who you are. Let the real you shine. Because you're a star! In my humble opinion, I don't think people need to learn how to shine. I think people need to stop hindering their own glow. They need to stop being so afraid of people's judgments, of being seen, being criticized, stop hearing the opinions of others. Even if others were to judge you, they are not you. They cannot make an accurate assumption or judgment of you. So you don't have to care, because the only person who can give an accurate and valid judgment of you is you. I'm not saying neglect every single person's opinion of you, because if there's someone you care about, then take it in, reflect and see if it's actually true. But it's important for you to value your own opinion of yourself more than other people's opinion. The reason why people are so afraid of judgment is because in the first place, you judge others. The solution to this is to stop judging others. For example, if I judge others for being loud, I'm going to judge myself for being loud. Let people criticize who they think you are, because not everyone deserves to know the real you. If someone tells me that I have red hair, does that mean that I do? Tell me right now, does this look red to you? No, it doesn't. And usually most of the time, people don't even care that much about you. For example, you see someone dig their nose across in the streets, right? You probably don't even think about it 5 seconds after, 5 seconds later. People are self-absorbed. They care about themselves too much to give a shit about you. So be whoever you want to be, however you want to be. You do that, you're gonna love yourself more. Because when you give yourself the space to be who you are, you feel safer being yourself, and it gives you courage. You'll be surprised to see how many people will actually love you for being you, instead of loving the fake version of you that you choose to portray because you were afraid of showing the real you. Smile and the world smiles back. This marks the end of my first official YouTube video. Stay tuned for more and comment down below if you would like a part 2. Thank you for watching!